There are plenty that have been major letdowns, exceptional letdowns, but there is no greater letdown than Senator Bernie Sanders.
It's upsetting.
And why he has chosen to fail on this issue so badly. The fact that, of all people, Dick Durbin comes out and says that we need a ceasefire.
I have my thoughts on why that is, though. I have my thoughts on that. That was basically a controlled opposition. I think it was by design. I can't fathom that Dick Durbin would have done anything without the consent of Biden. I just don't fathom that. So to me, that was sort of like their way of getting there to be sort of like a slow sort of leak of pressure without them having to be the ones doing it.
If you guys take a look at the posts we put up last night for Instagram and Facebook, we allude to the fact that it's already been revealed in Truth Out that what's basically happening and is going to attempt to happen, as President Blinken, as I said,
this is so bad,
who actually went to Jerusalem the other day to meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu to talk about calming things down for a minute.
That man would not know how to calm things down.
And even if he were to attempt to calm things down, it would end up becoming such a disaster because the goal here is to try to let things be quiet so that way we can get back to doing our plan, which is, of course, to completely eradicate the Palestinian people, not only in Gaza, but out of the entire state of Israel.
Well, and I think that's what people aren't realizing. Right now, while everybody's focusing on Gaza, the increased violence in the West Bank from settlers against the indigenous people there, against the Palestinians, has been very, very high. There's been a huge increase in settler violence out there. And instead of the IDF or anybody protecting the Palestinians, they look the other way most of the time, if not participate in the harassment of the Palestinians. So there's nobody there to defend them. They don't have law enforcement. They don't have anybody to help them, to defend them. And they're, as an occupied territory, as an occupied place, according to and I don't know if it's what UN Charter or Geneva Convention, I don't know. I don't do international law. But the occupying force has a complete obligation to care for the occupied people that are in its territory and its purview. So it is really the responsibility, even if you were to say, I agree with having a state of Israel, it is Israel's complete responsibility to secure and protect the people that are within its occupied territory. And it's failing to do that. In fact, we know the opposite, right? So it's consistent. And the West Bank, people are not watching it right now.
To say that we need a ceasefire and an end to the occupation would be an understatement if your concerns are endless violence.
Why can't they say it?
Anti-Semitism, everything.
Why can't they say ceasefire?
They're all stem from it. And so you're going to see Bernie went on with Dana Bash yesterday, and for whatever reason, just could not say it. Couldn't say it, even though Dana set him up for it.
And he went the whole Hamas route.
Here we go.
I want to just clarify one thing, Senator, if I might. You support a humanitarian pause in Gaza. Some of your fellow progressives say that there should be a full-on ceasefire, which would require an agreement on both sides to halt the fighting. Do you support a ceasefire? And if not, why not?
Well, I don't know how you can have a ceasefire, permanent ceasefire, with an organization like Hamas, which is dedicated to turmoil and chaos and destroying the state of Israel. And I think what the Arab countries in the region understand, that Hamas has got to go. So,
look, I did what I said what I said, and I mean what I said.
I'm starting to not even like you anymore.
Well, look, unfortunately, I happen to be somebody who is afraid for the Jewish people.
I don't think so, because that's creating more anti-Semitism. The increase of anti-Semitism is staggering right now, which we didn't need any increase.
We do not need Hamas. They are a bad organization. They are, unfortunately.
That's just not true. That's just not true.
This is the information I'm given.
Yeah, well, you know what? How come I know more information?
Listen, I have a few years on you, but that doesn't mean that I'm smarter than you.
No, clearly, but you're not getting the right information. Hamas is not a terrorist organization. Hamas is a resistance organization.
Listen, if anybody knows a thing or two about resistance, it's me. I resist the change. I should have done a lot of things differently when I ran for president in 2016 as well as 2020.
How is it that you fought for civil rights so hard, and yet you're sitting there and changing the subject to Hamas on this?
I'm an old man. What can I say?
Yeah, it's so disappointing. I'm so disappointed.
I've been known to disappoint a few people in my day. This is not a new thing.
No.
Unfortunately, my takes have not been that strong as of late. It looks like a lot of people are really upset with what I said to Dana Bash on CNN. I did not do the best job.
No.
I am still here to tell you that
How
we
can
can
you
have
not
a
be-
two-state solution.
No, we can't. How can you not be calling for a ceasefire? I don't understand why those words are so hard to say.
Look, unfortunately, I am a marked man, and if I use the words,
99% of the world is with that.
if I use those particular words or word for that matter, I could be in a lot of trouble, and I
Whatever.
don't want to be in trouble. I can
know
say
who you're
everything
in
but
trouble
that
with.
word. And
You're in trouble. To me, your soul is in trouble if you don't say it. So
my soul has already been condemned because I am responsible for Donald Trump becoming president of the United States. And apparently it's my fault that I ran for president against Hillary Clinton, and that's why she did not win.
you know what? It actually is somewhat your fault that we had Trump, but only because you didn't fight to when they stole it from you. Because the truth is, I think that you could have won that year. So I do think it is your fault, but not because you ran, but because you didn't fight after that. Like yes, I do actually think you're partially responsible for us having Trump.
Look, I unfortunately can't live in the past, and my future is not too bright. I don't have many years left. I am not exactly at a point making the best decisions possible.
Clearly.
I cannot speak for other senators out there, but I will tell you here today, just because I am here now and I have had a moment to reflect after my interview yesterday with Dana Bash, I can tell you all that the fact of the matter is we do need a ceasefire. The reason I don't say it is because my good friend Joe asked me not to.
Joe is not your friend.
And he keeps insisting that if I say it, it's going to cause bad politics for the Democratic Party, particularly for him, because he will not step down. He insists on running again.
Does he? Is it really him?
Well, I don't know if it's him or if it's his wife or his family or any of all of the institutional people here in D.C., the swamp, if you will. They keep insisting that he has to run for president, and I personally don't agree. I don't think it's a good idea. But I, of course, am way too old to run for a third time. I can't do it.
Yeah, but I don't hear you speaking out about this, though. See, that's the problem.
I am not allowed to speak out about it. Listen,
I don't know what you're afraid of. I don't know what you're afraid of. I don't know what any of these people are afraid of.
Try to understand. I have been on Capitol Hill for the better part of 3.5 decades. And you know what that means? That means I have worked very hard for those committee assignments. And I am not about to just give them up
to
save tens of thousands of lives in the Middle East. I can't do it.
I know, apparently.
My career is very important.
Clearly.
My legacy is even more important.
And it is decent. You're still definitely more pro than con. But I would just say that, like, this is definitely a bad look.
Oh, it's a very bad look.
This is not going to age well, Bernie. This will not be one of your final
Who would have ever
moments.
accused me of aging well in the first place? I mean, I'm doing the best I can to hang on for dear life. I don't know if I'm going to live to see the day where we will have a real trailblazing, non-corporate, populist president of the left in the United States while I'm alive.
I don't know.
I, of course, have lost my way in many respects. And I apologize to each and every one of you who I have let down. But remember, it's not me, it's us.
Yes, but
If I
us
cannot
needs a
deliver the
ceasefire.
goods,
Us
you
wants a
need more people.
ceasefire.
Well,
That's
you're
what
not
us
gonna-
wants.
I'm telling you here today that I said ceasefire, even though I'm really not allowed to say it. So get out there, let everybody know that I said it.
Have you heard your friend Joe's new nickname?
I can't repeat that either. That's a very negative word. It's unfortunately, I don't think Joe is necessarily the one making the call right now.
No, but that's when, you know what? When you're at the top of the food chain, it lands on you.
God bless you all. Stay safe and free Palestine.
Yeah. If only Bernie had actually said that. It's so disappointing.
Yeah, it's very
So disappointing. First of all,
Please do, Schulte. We would love that. $25 donation gets you one of these bad boys. One of those bad
you
boys.
could pick one. We have purple tees or the jerseys. So, the fact that, forget that he didn't call for a ceasefire, the fact that I'm looking at Bernie just sitting there repeating those Hamas tropes, Hamas is a terrorist organization, all the Arab countries want to get rid of them, but that's not true. That's not true.
I don't know who he's like. I get to the point where I'm just thinking,
Just
Bernie,
so
who are you trying to impress at this point? Like who?
Hamas is the party that was basically the only thing on the menu that was offered to them in their last election in 2006. So to say that the people there chose this is absurd. And to say that Hamas is just a terrorist organization, to label things. I am so tired of this. Words have meanings. Words have meanings. Hamas is not a terrorist organization. It's a political party or a political group that is living within a concentration camp and has forms of resistance. And let's be very clear that the people in Gaza have tried multiple ways, multiple times, non-violently, many times, to try to seek a solution for this and to try to get justice. You had the last intifada where, there were the two intifadas, and then there was that last March of Return. And they were all there every Friday, just peacefully marching. Yes, some people threw rocks. So then they started sniping medics and journalists and people. I just, they've tried through international law. And then the United States just said, yeah, we're in violation of international law, so we're just going to pull out of the International Criminal Court so that they tried all those ways. So then finally, I guess, your last resort is, if we're going to be in here until we die with people basically living in a concentration camp, they're angry, and they're going to maybe try to take some people with them. I just, to me, to not see that who would choose to be born in captivity and just live like that and not try to do something to help yourself?
But as we have shown, the power of AIPAC, DMFI, and ADL, they're very powerful, and they have a lot of money. And do not forget that a significant portion of the billionaire class are Zionist Jews.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.